Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to see you all here today. I lived on the beach for 14 years of my life. And even after having moved to the city and letting its busy mornings and wild nights embrace me, the smell of the sea and its salty, heavy air hasn't left the tip of my tongue or the doors of my heart. I lived by the hot simmering sands, the blue waters, and made memories and friends. I made peace with myself. Among the myriad of memories that shimmer and fade like fishes in a pond, leaving ripples, sending nostalgia to every tooth and bone, it is the image of a little friend that sends a sudden clasp to the heart and make it skip a bit. We grew up together, picking shells and buying ices with lunch money, sitting with our feet pushed into the wet sand and letting half a second of vertigo connect us to the sea, its warm oceanic embers, and to the universe beyond. All up until my teenage years, until our lives tore us apart and swallowed us up in its mad diasporic pleasures. I packed my bags and was left behind with a single tear and a set of broken black bangles. Displacement, my dear friends, is a terrible thing. Terrible, but it is beautiful. Everywhere we go, we leave a little bit of us behind, and we take a little bit of the people and the places we have been in. Terribly beautiful. You might be wondering why I'm sharing a little childhood memory of no real significance with you all here. Why are they so important? Haven't you ever felt the need to put into words how you played with friends at the beach? How years across, you still remember the smell of the mango blossoms and the sharp pain on your knees as you fell from your first bicycle ride and got bruised? We all have irreplaceable experiences we somehow cannot express, but very much want to. And the key to expressing it, dear friends, to invigorating it, sharing it, has always been open to us, but we rarely see it. Yes, I am talking about literature. All of us have learned stories at school, listened to poetry, and we have read out dialogues in drama. Some of us cannot deny that we learned our first lessons in oration from Shakespeare's Antony. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. We hear this on the occasion of Caesar's murder, where he, in an attempt to turn the people against the assassins, puts forward a powerful speech so full of emotion that the mob is moved to rage and cause a riot. Such is the power of the written word. There may be few who haven't read Robert Frost. The poem Fire and Ice, easily one of my favorites, stands out. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. But from what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. I think I know, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. What is Frost trying to say through these lines? Sure, he is considering the age-old question, how is the world going to end? Is it going to freeze to a slow death? Or burn in an agonizing yet quick one? He determines that both have the sufficient power to gain the ultimate aim, to kill and to end. And again, why is poetry so important to us? Why read poetry? Look how in these simple lines, written in simple words, in a simple form, in a simple concept like fire and ice, it creates powerful images, powerful feelings. Fire elicits the feeling of heat and light, but also of burning and pain, just like desire. And hate, cold and heartless, is a killer that enjoys death. These words, coupled with meanings that lie hidden in its images, creates a multi-dimensional complexity to the poem. When the meaning becomes deeper, our understanding gets altered. It gets deeper. Our feelings get deeper. We become more human. We apply it to real life because poetry is written by real people, stemming from real life experiences, and we join together in sharing and feeling. Haven't you all, no matter what the occasion was, found a perfect quote that explained your situation perfectly? Didn't you feel that the writer had you in mind when he wrote that? Sadly, in our lives today, literature and the love for it is beginning to erode away. We are beginning to forget the reason we write and the reason we feel. We forget to share because we don't know the medium of language to express those feelings. Then why? Why are words written on a piece of paper, songs heard on the wind, more important in an age where information can be received at the tip of your fingers? Why do we need books when our life is so much more advanced, our entertainment more advanced, short and crisp and scintillating to our senses? Why even learn the long, boring pieces of words stretching pages and pages? Don't I have anything better to do? This is something I hear every time I talk to youngsters my age. I ask them, which book do you like the most? And they look at me like I'm strange and ask me, read? Why should I read? I will have plenty of time to read when I'm retired. Why waste my time now? Friends, today I'm going to tell you why reading, or literature for that matter, is indeed an important thing and should not be reserved for your retirement time. Why literature? We need it because it benefits. We can benefit from the insights of others. The body of world literature contains most available knowledge about humanity, our beliefs, our self-perception, our philosophies, our assumptions expressed in our art. We learn these ideas only if we pause to think about what we need. Why should anyone bury important ideas? Because some ideas cannot be expressed adequately in simple language. And because the lessons we have to work for are the ones that stick with us. In Malayalam, we have great poets like Poondanam who wrote Jnanapana, and whose work today we recite as prayers with reverence and devotion. Look at a few lines. പത്ത് കിട്ടുകിൽ 100 മതിയെന്നും ശതമാകിൽ സഹസ്രം മതിയെന്നും 1000 പണം കയ്യിലുണ്ടാവുമ്പോൾ ആയുധമാകിൽ ആശ്ചര്യമെന്നതും ആശയായുള്ള പാശം അതിൻകേതു വേർപിടാതെ കരയേറുന്നു മേൽക്കുമേൽ. If one gets 10, he wants 100. If he sees 100, he wants 1,000. When he gets 1,000, he thinks that it will be wonderful to have more money. One is going higher and higher on the rope of desire by strongly holding on to it. Here, desire is compared to a rope, a never-ending rope. As we know, the comparison tells us, even though the rope is endless in length, it is not stable. Even if the greedy person holds on to it tightly, he can fall with the rope or fall leaving the hold on the rope. Another reason we need literature is to open our minds to ambiguities of meaning. While people will say what they mean and mean what they say in an ideal world, language in our world, in our reality, is maddeningly, delightfully ambiguous. If you go through life expecting people to play by your rules, you'll only be miserable, angry, and disappointed. You won't change them. Ambiguity and nuance give our language depth and endless possibility. Learn it, appreciate it, revel in it. Literature helps us explore other cultures and beliefs. History, anthropology, and religious studies provide a method of learning about the cultures and beliefs of others from the outside looking in. Literature, on the other hand, allows you to experience the cultures and beliefs of others firsthand from the inside looking out. The only other way to have such a personal understanding of others' beliefs are to adopt them yourself, which most of us aren't willing to do. If you understand where other people are coming from, you are better equipped to communicate meaningfully with them, and they with you. Read Gabriel Garcia Marquez' Love in the Time of Cholera. Listen to the pangs of unrequited love. Take another book. Take our own Sri M.T. Vasudevan Nair and his book Mist or Manju. And as you leaf through the pages, stop where Vimala says, Varum, Varadirikilla. You will surely sit back and experience a feeling of lost love and strong hope, even if you have never fell in love in your entire life. That is the power of literature. Literature helps us appreciate why individuals are the way they are. Each person we meet represents a unique concoction of knowledge, beliefs, and experiences. In our own culture, we find an infinite variety of attitudes and personalities. We may still reject their beliefs and assumptions, but we are one step closer to understanding them. Who likes Adolf Hitler? Why did Adolf Hitler act the way he did? Read his autobiography, Mein Kampf, or My Struggles, and hear him say, "I do not see why man should not be as cruel as nature." Read it and you'll understand why he said those words. Literature helps us expand our grasp of the concepts in history. History and literature are inextricably intertwined. History is not just names and dates and politicians and wars and power, it's much more than that. History is about people who are products of their time with their own intricately woven value systems. Study of literature enhances our appreciation of history's complexity, which in turn expands our appreciation of present political complications and better equips us to predict and prepare for the future. Reading Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath gives us a glimpse of the time during the Great Depression of the 1920s, while All Quiet on the Western Front by Remarque tells us about life on the Western Front and the trenches during the First World War. Literature encourages us to question accepted knowledge. We gain knowledge not just through internet or present-day troll posts, we learn it initially from our books. As children, most of us were taught to believe what we are told, and those basic hypotheses provide us schemes or building blocks of knowledge. As we age, as we read and grow, we learn to question the knowledge that are provided to us and in understanding whether they are true or not. Importantly, literature helps us see the tragedy in life. I'm pretty sure nobody likes to see their favorite characters die in the Game of Thrones. But sadly, it is the truth. Lenin said, "A million deaths are a statistic, but one death is a tragedy." History gives you the statistics. Literature shows you the human tragedy. When you hear Severus Snape say "always" in Harry Potter, doesn't it break your heart? That is the power of literature. We learn to recognize language devices and appreciate their emotional power when we read literature. Like good music, poetry uses wordplay, rhythm, and sounds to lull the reader into an emotional fog, and therein deliver its message. Great leaders learn to harness these techniques of communication and persuasion. Listen closely to effective advertisements and politicians and lawyers. Listen to the pleasing rhythm and wordplay of their mantras, and watch the sheep blithely flock to them. It does not fit, you must acquit. Crisp and clean and no caffeine. Politicians use prolific parallelism. We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail. One poem that especially comes to my memory is Vailopalli Sridhara Menon's Pandangal. Chora tudikum cherugayugale peruga vanni pandangal. Eriya talamura endiya parin varoli mangala kandangal. Pandu പിതാമഹർ കാട്ടിൻ നടുവിൽ ചിന്തകളുരസിടുമക്കാലം വന്നു പിറന്നിതു ചെന്നിണമോലും വാളു കണക്കൊരു തീനാളം. Such poems are so emotionally vibrant, they force you to jump up and fight for a cause. Talking about literature, talking about poetry, I would like to recite a poem by D.H. Lawrence, The End of Another Home Holiday. Fully packed with emotion about the time when the author has to leave his home for work, leaving home for further responsibilities, the pang of nostalgia, the spirit of home clinging to him as he leaves. The end of another home holiday. When shall I see the half-moon sink again behind the black sycamore at the end of the garden? When will the scent of the dim white phlox creep up the wall to me and in at my open window? Why is it that the long, slow strokes of the midnight bell, will it never finish to 12, falls again and again on my heart with a heavy reproach? The moon mist is over the village. Out of the mist speaks the bell, and all the little roofs of the village bow low, pitiful, beseeching, resigned. Speak you, my home. What is it that I don't do well? Ah, home. Suddenly, I love you. As I hear the sharp, clean trot of a pony down the road, succeeding sharp little sounds dropping into silence, clear upon the long-drawn hoarseness of a train across the valley. The light has gone out from under my mother's door, that she should love me so. She, so lonely, graying now, and I leaving her, bent on my pursuits. Love is a great asker. The sun and the rain do not ask the secret of the time when the grain struggles down in the dark. The moon walks a lonely way without anguish, because no one grieves over her departure. In this poem, Lawrence talks about nostalgia, and we, all of us, a part of us, has nostalgia etched into us, because that's what makes us human in the end. All these little things, these little memories, and it is these are the feelings that literature or words brings out of us. Before I end my speech, I would like to talk to you about a special kind of poetry that emerged in the 1980s in the USA. It emerged as a channel through which people or poets wanted to show their emotions. It was a new kind of poetry called performance poetry. It came out for the black people to show out their anguish at how they were treated, about the immigrants and how they were treated. It gave people the opportunity to articulate their feelings with more action, not just the power of words. They could act, they could modulate their voice, they could scream, they could do what they wanted and bring out the desired effect. Today, I would be demonstrating a performance poetry because I think it is not that popular these days, and it hasn't seeped into our culture that easily. Today, I will be reciting or performing a poem called I'm Dyslexic, which talks about the life or the struggles of a dyslexic kid. I'm dyslexic. 1, 2, 3, 6. Teacher, teach me how to count, because I can't. Teacher, teach me how to count, because I can't. Teacher, teach me how to count, because I can't. Because I can't. I'm incapable, never counted that well. Children, you say, learn and become governors, presidents, scientists too, and come to me in Mercedes-Benzes. You should always learn well. And the kids say, hey dude, look at him, a nursery kid does not even know how to write ABC, stutters in class. What are you? You can't even count? You can't count? Why can't you? Why can't you? That's what they say. And then they say, yo, and I cry. They say, yo, and I cry. That's what I've always been doing since school. I can't learn. I can't write. I can't read. I blooming well can't understand. Because I'm dyslexic. And I can't even spell it. Teacher, teach me how to count. Teacher, please, teach me how to count. Teacher, let me ask you, when will man fathom his inexorable peril as he rampages through time, oblivious of the devil, vaporizing the last drop of tears while drilling into Mother Earth's ears, and he, insatiable in his sinful thirst, lets riots in his kingdom burst, starts war at the drop of hat, spilling blood like wine out of a vat, Poor, dumb animals are used for sports. The shrieks and cries dying in their throats. Man has always been like this, ignorant and callous in his cruel bliss. I'm dyslexic, but I understand. Then why not they? Teacher, please, scold me not if I get D's and E's and F's. Teacher, please, teach me when I stutter. When I read. Teacher, teach me how to write. Teach me how to read. Teach me how to count so that I can change the world. Teacher, teach me how to count so that I can change the world. Teacher, let me ask you, who is dyslexic, me or them? Thank you. Do you have any questions? Because the organizers said there would be a question session after the... Oh, thanks a lot, sir. I'm honored. And before I end, I would really love to thank from the bottom of my heart Mr. Michael, who invited me here. Such a wonderful opportunity to talk to youngsters and not all in the heart. I was very fortunate to meet people I've admired. As a student from school, I've listened to all of Mrs. T.P. Srinivasan's classes, and I really hope to see you soon, sir, in your classes. And in general, amazing to talk to you and learn about how much training you go through in protecting our country. And thank you, organizers, for the wonderful opportunity. Thanks a lot.